453-6856. You can WhatsApp Corruption Watch on 055-453-6295. The hashtag is Wanamoni, hashtag Ghana Bread. Corruption Watch is sponsored by Star Ghana. Today we feature 2 of our 6 segments in our show, We Remember and Anti-Corruption School. On We Remember, we feature stories and updates on cases investigated by the Corruption Watch team and broadcast on Joy FM. On our Anti-Corruption School, we assemble resource persons to share their knowledge of anti-corruption cases and measures we feature on Corruption Watch in order to deepen our understanding on issues. Of course, as we do always, we have lined up a panel of knowledgeable people to help us expand our understanding of the key issues we will be raising this morning. We have with us in the studio Mr. Edem Senanu. Mr. Senanu is a management and development consultant. He's also co-chair for the Citizens Movement Against Corruption. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How's everything?
We're doing well.
Kwame Sapon Asiedu is a UK-based Ghanaian pharmacist and anti-corruption activist. He will join us on the line from his base in the UK. Malik Abbas Dabo is here to help us with the We Remember segments. Before I come to exactly what Malik will be recalling with us, Kingdom Books and Stationery offers a 30-day credit facility with no interest charge. We deliver free within Accra, Tema and surrounding towns. Call us on 0302-764-101 or 762-307 or visit kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, your number one stop shop for all office essentials, stationery and furniture. Now at ABSA, the future is as important to us as the present, so we always strive to keep you ahead. This is why ABSA has invested $500 million into technology to make your future possibilities a present reality. We also make sure we collaborate with the right partners to provide you with state-of-the-art award-winning banking solutions. Welcome to ABSA Group Limited. ABSA, proudly serving you in Ghana as Barclays. Good morning, Malik.
Good morning again, Daniel.
Good morning again. We can never run out of saying good mornings in one morning. Yeah. So what are we remembering this morning?
Now, let's start from the news that the President and Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo yesterday brought to an end the almost 2 decades of waiting for a right to information law in Ghana. The President assented to the bill, and we did this during the news review, that makes it law 2 months after it was passed by Parliament, and we know this. Now, this marks an end to an era of complaining by activists for a law that is seen as a vehicle for opening up the governance space by making decision-making more transparent. President Akufo-Addo assented to the bill in a live telecast on television, which was preceded by a short message to the nation. He said the implementation of the bill would commence in 2020 calendar year. This is what he said. Now, in other news, Corruption Watch has learned that government may not be keen on prosecution as a way of bringing closure to the Central Medical Stores arson saga.
Malik, I hate to take you back on this, but I think that for the news flash that you gave us, we should hear the President.
Long last, the 7th Parliament of the 4th Republic on 26 March 2019 passed the Right to Information Bill into law. Happily, in my time as President and in the time of the 7th Parliament, deliberations on the bill have been concluded, and we now have the Right to Information Act. I'm very happy that this law has finally been passed, and I did make the commitment that when it was brought to me, I would give my assent to it right away. It was in fact brought to me yesterday afternoon. But on second thought, I felt that I should sign it in the plain view of the Ghanaian people, for you to know that this long, winding parliamentary process has finally come to an end. The purposes of the Act, as set out in its preamble, is to provide for the implementation of the constitutional right to information held by any public institution, and to foster a culture of transparency and accountability in public affairs. Properly applied, it should enhance the quality of governance in our country and provide a critical tool in the fight against corruption in public life.
So that was President Akufo-Addo making history yesterday. Malik, in other news?
Yeah, so in other news, Corruption Watch, we have learned that government may not be very keen on prosecution as a way of bringing closure to the Central Medical Stores CMS arson saga. Our sources say government may just leave the case hanging now that the donors who contributed the majority of medicines in the stores appear to have written off the cost in return for government undertaking some reforms in the health sector. Meanwhile, some of the persons who were named as suspects in the arson case have expressed desire for the saga to be brought to a closure. Some of them are ready to face a trial if that is the only way the case could be brought to a closure. Our checks at the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General's Department show that the Auditor General furnished the AG's outfit with a report of forensic audit conducted into the fire disaster at the CMS. And we remember the Auditor General, Mr. Yaw Domelevo, talking about this forensic audit which was being conducted. And Health Minister at the time told us why they needed this to be done and that the area had been tampered with. Now, you will recall that the General Central Medical Stores was burnt down in 2015 to allegedly cover up some 3.5 million Ghana cedis of alleged fraud, causing this country to lose 350 million cedis worth of medicines and medical supplies. To establish the actual cost of the arson, the Auditor General conducted a forensic audit on the case. He had promised to do that within 3 months. However, the audit dragged on for longer. Subsequently, the forensic audit report was submitted to the Attorney General's outfit in December 2018. That was last year.
Thanks, Malik, for that important update. And we keep watching. As I mentioned at the beginning of today's episode of Corruption Watch, we are doing a recall of matters relating to the Central Medical Stores fire disaster. We ask, will government ever bring the perpetrators to book? On the other hand, does the Global Fund writing off the debts end the matter? It's important to build the history around this issue properly so that we can put the discussions in the right context. So we are going to go back to an interview we brought you about a year ago. In an interview, Mr. Daniel Yaw Domelevo, the Auditor General, spoke to us about the conduct of the forensic audit. Afterwards, we will hear from the Ministry of Health, Kweku Agyemang-Manu, explaining how the CMS case has been handled so far and the resulting reforms. He spoke at the Mise Press session where he took his turn last Thursday in Accra. First, here is Daniel Domelevo explaining the circumstances surrounding the forensic audit.
The contract for the award for the audit of the Central Medical Stores was awarded to one of the private firms because this is a serious forensic audit which we don't have the time and the expertise to do. The few forensic auditors we have, if we want to use them, it means we won't have them to do any other thing for us. So we actually outsource it, courtesy Ministry of Health, who kindly agreed to pay for the fee. They have some funding which they are using to pay for the fee. The audit has delayed. You know, this event happened 2015, I think, January, thereabout. With the change in government, most of the staff have moved on, and the very bad record-keeping nature in the public service, they've all amounted to this. So the auditors have found a bit of challenge in the past, but fortunately we have made progress. Some of the officers who were involved when the fire broke out we were able to identify them, and they have helped us to retrieve a lot of documents which the consultants or the auditors require. Because let me explain it a bit. What has happened is that unlike a situation where there is corruption and the documents are there, you go and interrogate the documents. This one is bent. So you have to try and reconstruct the data. For instance, we are trying to look at what is the quantum of medicines that was bent. You can't just say the total medicine bought that was bent is 2 million. No. You must say paracetamol, 20, chronophynical or whatever other medicine that specific medicines, because this is a case in which you are going to hold people accountable. You go to court and you don't have all your information right, they just throw you out. Here is the case: the data or the material which you could have counted is also gone. So in accounting, what we do is that we go to look at the latest information we have. So we are going back to 2014 figures and see what was the stock level according to the records. So we pick that record which they have. Now they have to make sure they get all the procurement which happened in 2015 and goods that they took delivery of, and also take all the issues, that is the documentation relating to all the supplies that they gave to the regional medical stores and hospitals and whatnot, etc., for us to estimate that based upon what we had at the beginning, add what came in minus what left, this is the figure which should be there. So based upon that conjecture, we can arrive at, and that is a challenge, and I think we are getting closer and closer. Whenever we are doing forensic audit, the idea is to hold somebody accountable. Forensic audit is not like financial audit where we want to express opinion. When we are doing forensic audit, it means we think something has gone wrong and we want to hold somebody responsible, but we don't have all the information we need.
Obviously, this is costing us so much as a country.
Yes, of course. The cost to us as a country is very much in the damage or the loss, not in terms of the audit. Let's assume that even the audit is 2 million or 3 million. I don't think we can get even the building alone. Let's assume it was empty. The building alone, you cannot get it for 3 million. So the cost, I think, is huge, and it disturbs me as a person because, look, these are medicines which are meant for people who were not well, etc. As a result of this, it could mean that we have lost some lives which you can never bring back. So as for the cost to the country, estimating it is very difficult. We can only look at the financial cost, but in terms of other opportunities or human lives which might have been involved, I think that would be very great.
Let me take you back a little bit and mention the Central Medical Stores disaster, where almost all communities that were housing for health service delivery got burned. After that, we did an audit, and some of our donors had commodities in there. Global Fund has become a big stakeholder in supporting our fight for malaria, HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis. They alone lost close to $27 million in commodities that got burned, nets and other things. By their rules, $27 million should have been recovered from our country. Negotiations and they themselves looking at reality indicated that there was no way Ghana could pay back $27 million. So the ministry agreed with them to improve on our supply chain. A master plan was adopted that was turned into an agreement between Ghana Ministry of Health and Global Fund. And in there we identified 4 milestones. So if you could develop and implement those areas that will significantly improve on our supply chain, they will give us relief of those monies, like HIPIC. So do this, and we'll forgive you this amount. I'm proud to announce that as today, we have virtually completed implementing the entire milestones as we met in the ministry in 2017. Logistic Management Information System virtually completed now, close to about 95% complete. We are getting close to deploying this into our central medical stores across regions. We're doing what we call the last mile distribution, such that we're bringing our commodities to the last user. So the last ship compound wouldn't come to collect drugs from any of our regional stores. We're carrying them to them. We have done what we call contracting. We piloted last year and looks like it's working. We have identified deficiencies and we'll soon launch another tender process to go the second time. The strategy in there is to stabilize prices of our main commodities, special medicines. We selected about 54 medicines and we did tender competitively to select suppliers for these 54 so that we lock them in for 1 whole year without price changes until something tends beyond control of us and the suppliers that we can't have control over. Then we'll sit and negotiate for new things to be done. So that is where we are trying to move to ensure that we stabilize prices and make everybody be able to assess the medicines that are prescribed for them. then we have developed our warehousing strategy that we have been running today to support our challenges. The drone situation has become part of the supply chain management issue to actually even support us, give us a platform when we have emergencies. So that has become part of our emergency preparedness force. So we use drones to do some of the normal supplies to areas that we cannot easily reach. But anytime there is an emergency, we now have a platform to support us. We launched the first drone center about 6 now in the Eastern region. There are 3 more to be done in the phase of the drone technology. That will send our supplies faster, areas that we can't easily reach, but that's also part of our last mile distribution effort to make sure drugs get to where they should go.
People, are you ready for this? Yeah. Now when I say
You just heard the Minister of Health, Kweku Agyemang-Manu, speaking at last Thursday's Meet the Press session. He was explaining the reforms that have resulted from the CMS saga. Before him, we heard Mr. Daniel Yaw-Domelevo, who was explaining the process of conducting a forensic audit into the CMS case. We are ready for the anti-corruption school segment. On this segment, we assemble resource persons to share their knowledge of anti-corruption cases and measures we feature on Corruption Watch in order to deepen our understanding of the issues. Once again, our resource persons for today, like I said, Mr. Edem Senanu, co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Consulting. He's also a management and development consultant. Kwame Sapon Siedu is a UK-based Ghanaian pharmacist and anti-corruption activist. He will join us from his base in the UK via phone, and he will do that immediately after we come back. Stay with us.
Where's everybody? Who is the class prefect here?
Please, sir. Most of them are not feeling well, and it's been confirmed that it's malaria.
You see, my dear, it is only the stubborn fly that follows the corpse to the grave. Same way, if you don't heed the advice to sleep under treated net, mosquitoes will bite you and you will get malaria.
Sir, you are right. Most people are just adamant. They don't sleep under their treated nets, so the mosquitoes feast on them at night. I sleep in peace under my treated net every night and throughout the night to avoid mosquito bites.
Night after night, in so many places, people are sleeping under insecticide-treated nets. Prevent malaria. Sleep under insecticide-treated net every night and throughout the night, wherever you are. Nothing must stop you. Good life. Live it well. It's an everyday thing. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Health Service, USAID, and partners.
At UBA, we pay close attention to your every detail, making you feel like a VIP every time you visit us. We have the strongest financial and technological background, making us #1 in risk management. We have offices in New York, Paris, and London, and presence in 20 countries across Africa. UBA has successfully operated in Ghana for almost 15 years, with 28 branches throughout the country. Visit us today at a branch near you. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Come to a serene atmosphere. Beautiful green grass, spacious and conducive just for your social and corporate events, weddings, parties, anniversaries, get-togethers, funerals, retreats, and more. Get in touch with Royal Dazzle Event Center today. Locate us between Ashalibocho School Junction and Trasacco, precisely Major last stop. Follow us on social media, Facebook at Royal Dazzle Event Center, on Instagram at Rodaz_Event Center. You can also send an email to royaldazzleeventcenter@gmail.com or call +233 246 202 144 or +233 558 148 585. Royal Dazzle Event Center, creating memories and more. Memories and more.
So everyone says I'm a Kosia filler, but it's not like I'm nosy or go out to find out the latest filler. It's just that I get 50 megabytes of data free after paying for only the first minute of every call. And so I just keep discovering stuff minute after minute. That's how come I was minding my business, scrolling through my timeline, and I found out Coco has a new baby. Oh, and last week, I learned Ken won the lottery. You see, Ken is my brother's friend. So hello, look who's about to roll with the rich and famous.
Enjoy even more value with MTN Free After One. You only pay for the first minute of your call on MTN Free After One, and the rest is free. Plus, you enjoy free 50 megabytes worth of data to browse your favorite sites. Compare where, compare there. So dial *315# to sign up. We day for you everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply.
A great journey lies ahead of us all, but we all have different paths carved out for us. When choosing your path, make sure you choose a partner you can trust, a partner with integrity who will always stand with you and give you the support you need when you need it. No matter who you are and where you are in your journey in life, you are very significant, and so is the path you're on. Consolidated Bank Ghana cherishes financial security as much as you do and shares the same values as you, and that is why we are the right financial partner to stand with you. We are now one of the largest banks in Ghana, and we are ready to partner and work with you. CBG, we stand with you.
Every year, thousands around the world receive impartation from the biggest gathering of pastors, leaders, and business leaders to impact their generation. The Supernatural Empowerment Summit. This year, come and receive an impartation from these great men of God: Bishop Tudor Bismarck, Zimbabwe; Pastor Ayo Orisejafo, Nigeria; Apostle Professor Opoku Onyina, Ghana; Apostle Sam Crunchy Ankra, Ghana; and the host, Bishop Charles Ajinasari, Ghana, under the theme Power for the Last Days, starting Monday evening 27th May to Saturday morning 1st June 2019. Join us for the evening sessions at 5:30 p.m. and morning sessions starting Tuesday 8 o'clock a.m. at the Paris Dome, Jolly Junction, Accra. To register, visit www.stsummit.org. It's the Supernatural Empowerment Summit. Come and receive power for the last days.
Oh, Mickey, why are you looking so sad? Massa, smile small, eh? Charlie, you know say I make what for a loan. Don't come and laugh at me. Now, who says that they laugh at you? Now, I make what pass you said. After months of jumping from one bank to another, Massa, Prudential Bank finally sorted me out. Wow. They make also go there and try my luck. Massa, this is not try your luck matter. Oh. As a government of Ghana employee, you are covered. You don't even need to have an account with them. Hey, really? Oh, yeah. Once your salary is paid through the Controller and Accountant General's Department, Jack them sharp. In addition, Prudential Bank has special loan products for SMEs, non-traditional exporters, micro businesses, as well as loans for any staff of a private or public institution whose salary is paid through Prudential Bank. Best of all is their low interest rates and flexible terms of repayment. Really? Massa, just walk into any of their branches nationwide or call 0302-781-198. Terms and conditions apply. Hey, I said, but where you go? Prudential Bank, of course. Prudential Bank, your trusted and dependable partner.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
What you say now? Squad alongside Man and Morris, Babyface. What you say now?
27 minutes past 9. This is a Super Morning Show on Joe 99.7 FM. The segment is Corruption Watch. My name is Daniel Daze. Keep those tweets coming at Joy 997 FM. The hashtag is Joy SMS. Joy SMS, I mean. But let me say a happy birthday to Tyra Isua Mensah, who turns 14 today. We wish you God's love and protection as you grow ever so beautifully. Continue to be a shining star and to impact society positively. God bless from your loving parents Oswald and Anita. It's also your birthday, Reginald Lawson, RM of GCB Bank Ministries branch. And a happy birthday to Madame Nana Betty Asafwe J. You are 72 years today, 22nd of May 2019. You're a German tutor resident in Dansuman. Your husband and children wish you God's blessings, long life, and good health. Happy birthday, Mom. We have with us in the studio Edem Senanu. On the phone lines joining us from the UK is Kwame Sapon Isiedu, discussing the Central Medical Stores fire. We've walked you through so far. We've walked you through exactly what has been done regarding the Central Medical Stores fire. You've heard the Auditor General, you've heard the Minister of Health, and you've heard the information that we have gathered ourselves. Before we go ahead, let me take a few more of your tweets. The President is involved in a Asamoah Gyan's issue because we have no standard option. The challenge at our attack is more than a decade long. It's more than a decade old, and it continues to plague us. Another failure at Akwesi. Okay, at NY Jima tweets that in. The hashtag is joyous. I'm sending your tweets. We'll be retweeting them and reading them on the show. However, we are moving into our main conversation today. Edem Senanu is with us in studio. If you're looking for a 1 to 4 bedroom apartment and penthouse with the highest grade of finishing, go to Eden Heights at the West Hills Mall, close to the beach resort along the Atlantic Ocean, about a 30 minutes drive from the airport and 5 minutes walk from West Hills Mall. Visit us at edenheights.com.gh or email sales@edenheights, that's EDEN heights.com.gh, or call Mavis on 050-153-1444 or 050-143-1445 for more information. Eden Heights, welcome home. Now, from the 22nd to the 24th of May, that's from today through to Friday, cheap tiles end up costing you more. Get high quality for your wall and your floor from Kimo Home, your trusted supplier of Spanish tiles. Call Kimo Home on 0244 030 411 or 030 2233224, or visit them at South Industrial Area opposite STC or Spintex opposite Energy Bank. Now, cheap tiles end up costing you more, so get high quality tiles for your wall and your floor from Kimo Home, your trusted supplier of Spanish tiles. Call Kimo Home on 0244 030 411 or 030 223 or visit them at South Industrial Area opposite STC or Spintex opposite Energy Bank. Thank you again for joining us, Edem.
Thank you too.
In the first place, the President has assented the Right to Information Bill yesterday. How do you react to this news?
This is absolutely great news. It's been a long while coming, a long journey, 1999 to 2019. But it's a notable one, a giant step towards actualizing the rights and freedoms of Ghanaians. It's a very good thing that's happened to us.
Okay. Now, what is your assessment of how the CMS saga has been handled?
Well, I don't know whether there's a sense in which our culture tends to seep into areas where it ought not to. I think in private affairs where somebody has done something wrong and they've come to beg, and then we say, okay, it's okay, and then we let it go. But you just cannot bring that into the public space because we know that accountability is very important. And if you don't set the right precedents, people will continue, as it were, to deprive the state of resources with impunity. I think that the sense that nobody wants to take a concrete step is not a good one. I'm glad that media continues to raise the issue to the extent that those who are responsible have to act. Indeed, to the extent that the Auditor General has submitted this report as far back as January, it's December 2018, and we're now in May. I think there's a responsibility at the moment for the Attorney General to come out, urgently so, to tell us exactly what has transpired, what they have found, and what actions they are going to take. It is not good because there are several issues that I have on my mind which have nothing essentially to do with was somebody found culpable at all. From inventory management systems. Did you have an inventory management system? Were there stock records, forms, and formats? Was there the necessary backup system in place? Because you see, when the Auditor General says that the records are bent, we all know that a standard practice in information management now is to have a backup system of data which is off-site. Was that done? Was there an off-site electronic backup that we could just go into and say that, look, at least up to the last 2 months, this is the data? Was there a drug release procedure? Were there security and physical access issues, security cameras? Was there a sign-in and sign-out logbook? What was the number of security people deployed? Had they been trained in emergency actions and protocols? Were there body checks being done? How did these drugs, so-called 3.5 million fraud occur? Was it fiscal drugs that were taken out? These are questions. Was there a fire system in place? Smoke detector? Were there fire extinguishers? Were they sufficient for the purposes? Were they being maintained? Were there training done? Was insurance considered? Was there a way to mitigate any risks of things happening? There are plenty of questions to ask, competencies to be tested, systems for us to agree these were in place, they were not in place, and going forward this will be done. There's so much that we ought to be interrogating, that it is not sufficient for anyone to say, oh, they have said that, look, they are doing away with what you owe us, and therefore let's forget it. That's not good enough. It does not help in the fight against corruption.
In fact, I was coming to that point because some would argue that the Global Fund has forgiven this debt that we incurred. So that should be enough. But what are the real implications on the fight against corruption?
You see, we say that the price of a thriving democracy is eternal vigilance by its citizens. And the reason is that until we keep demanding for an understanding of what has gone wrong, resources that ordinarily would go to the benefit of citizens in terms of, let's say, health facilities, educational blocks, etc., will be wasted in such circumstances. So there is a necessary step to be taken to learn from every kind of circumstance like this one. Yeah. And the amounts involved are not small amounts. I mean, 3.5 million, that's the small part of it. But the 350 million that was lost, that is something that could have made a lot of difference. It does not matter that now we have been forgiven that. People have still been denied that 350 million Ghana cedis worth of drugs. That's not something to take lightly. So there is plenty reason to say, let us still interrogate this. In any case, this is how democracies everywhere have been built. They've been built by the fact that when things go wrong, we ask ourselves, what went wrong? What could we have done better? And then begin to institute those actions in order to prevent a reoccurrence and to ensure that resources are well spent. So there's every reason not to let this go and say that the people have said, let's forgive them the debt and let's move on. Let them just build up their systems and strengthen it. That's not sufficient.
You see this as an opportunity for institutional reform?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there are lessons to be learned that probably will lead us to again test systems in other aspects of our public sector and find out, look, is what we are finding, is it reflected in other parts of our public sector life? Are there other places we should quickly take these actions to prevent further such losses of resources to the state? I think these are important questions that we ought to tackle head up.
But whose responsibility is it to act really, and what must they do specifically?
At this point, since the Auditor General has submitted his forensic report to the Attorney General, it's the Attorney General who ought to be speaking to us and urgently so that, look, we received this report 4 or 5 months ago. Our review of the report indicates that this is what the report found. You remember the Auditor General said that this is actually to find people are accountable. He was very categorical that it's not just an open-ended thing. We are looking for who is responsible. So, to the very least, putting out the information that the Auditor General has found will give us a sense of closure, because we begin to find out who should have put what systems in place, what actions were not taken in a timely manner, what was done that has resulted in this loss. And yes, the Attorney General's Department has its expertise, and they will look at it and say, look, these are the parts that we think are prosecutable. We can then take people to court and so on and so forth. But as a public, and these are our public servants, they owe a duty to us to tell us, what does the report say? What actions are we going to take?
You're so live on the Super Morning Show. Enjoy 99.7 FM. In 22 minutes, we wrap up here. My guest in studio is Adam Senanu, helping us out on Corruption Watch with insights into the Central Medical Stores fire. This is where we are. The Auditor General has finished his forensic audit into the matter. He's handed over the documents as far back as December 2018 to the Attorney General. The Global Fund, which loaned us the money which we used to procure those drugs, has forgiven us the debt. But should we leave it there, or we should be demanding that the persons responsible for this are prosecuted? Whose job is it to act now? Mr. Senanu, in his submission, has made us understand that it's now the gauntlet now lies with the Attorney General to begin this prosecution process. We want to delve a bit deeper into this issue by looking at what exactly as citizens we ourselves can do to hold our leaders more accountable in this matter. Kwame Sapon Isiedu has been very vocal about this case on social media. Perhaps that is one of the ways that we can look at this, and he will be joining us live from the UK when we come back. Stay with us.
Seesaw, up and down. Seesaw, up and down.
Dear Ghana, up and down is good for some things, but your internet is not one of them. It shouldn't go from 4G to 2G like child's play. Get true 4G LTE internet for grown-ups. Grab a Surfline 4G LTE MiFi device today. At Surfline, we give you 10 gigabytes, then add 5 gigabytes of data when you make your first purchase. Call us on 0302 745 777 or visit any of our retail outlets and get the internet you deserve. Yours truly, Surfline. It's about time.
The time is now. Yes, it's the time to get a loan for the way you live and get a highly competitive rate on your loans. You can get the cash to buy whatever you want with an unbeatable loan from your preferred bank. So say General Ghana. Don't waste any time. You deserve a better bank. Just step into any branch today or call 0302-214-314 to find out more. And remember, the promotion ends on 30th June 2019. As usual, terms and conditions apply.
Well, really, I mean, if we've won everything before, what's the big deal? Really, what's the big deal? We won football. I think we won basketball. There was a tug of war which we won. Our MD won something. What again you want? What you want me to tell you? What you want me to tell you? You're looking at beautiful people from the biggest bank in the world. What again you want? What again you want? We are the best.
This is definitely the highest height of bragging. So this year at the Joy Sports Invitational Tournament, what will be your bragging right? And what have you won before? What can you win? It's April 29 at the Elbach Stadium, where the biggest brands in corporate Ghana will converge once again to battle and settle the old sporting scores and set new records. In the CEO's mini goal post shoot, men's football, ladies penalty shootout, basketball, volleyball, team spirit award or JAMA, table tennis, arm wrestling, unisex relay, and the newly introduced shooting challenge. So let the preparations begin.
Over here, you see how we're playing the volleyball. So it tells you that we are very ready. And we are going to win the volleyball.
So what did you win last year and what can you win this time round? The Joy Sports Invitational Tournament 2019 is proudly sponsored by First National Bank. How can we help you? Delay Yogurt, more, I want more, and Cone Professional Makeup. And powered by Joy Sports, the thrill of the game.
Hi, I'm Emma Morrison, Group Head for Business Programming at the Multimedia Group. This year, I will be at the Women's Leadership Conference in Las Vegas with Adansi Travels. Want to be inspired to achieve a high level of personal and professional growth? Join me for this conference, which promotes women's personal and professional development and advancement. It's going to be an eye-opener with varying perspectives and strategies for development. Las Vegas is a top 3 destination in the United States for business conventions and a global leader in the hospitality industry. There'll be lots to do and lots to see. So let's go to Las Vegas, August 4th to August 8th, 2019. Don't miss this opportunity to be inspired, motivated, and to network with over 2,000 global leaders at the Plush MGM Grand Hotel. Oh, and men can come too. For US visa holders is $1,590 single, and for non-US visa holders is $1,950 single, exclusive of flights. Deadline is May 30, 2019. Contact Adansi Travels on 055-631-0404 or 024-360-6648 for registration and travel arrangements. Las Vegas, here we come. Access and availability to healthcare, as well as costs, are driving many to look for alternative ways of staying healthy and ensuring well-being. Learn more and participate at the Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show, which will focus on the general healthcare, pharmaceutical, herbal and treatment with exhibitors and businesses from these industries. There will also be activities for direct consumer engagement and specialized discussions for corporate wellness, general well-being, debilitating health issues and concerns. It's happening from the 30th of May to 1st June 2019. Venue is the National Theatre here in Accra. The general theme is Good Health, a driver for sustainable development. Interested businesses should call 0544-310864 or 0540-106466. The Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show has been endorsed by the Ministry of Health and is supported by New Crystal Health Services Limited. Growing together in good health, and Health Link Healthy Man and Woman from Pharma Trust Limited.
Super Morning Show. Yeah, Sydney, je suis arrivé. Qu'est-ce que la nation soit la Ghana? Arrêtez le babadage. C'est moi, Ritu. Sydney back again. What you say now? Squad alongside Man and Morris, Babyface. What you say now?
40 minutes till we wrap up the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Daniel Dazi. Thanks for staying with us. A happy birthday to you, Frank Edu Jr., the Managing Director of Cow Bank. Happy birthday to you. And congratulations on the commissioning of your new building, the Cow Bank Tower, today. In the studio with me is Adam Senna. I know he's a management and development consultant. He's also the co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption. We've been discussing the Central Medical Stores fire. Joining us on the phone lines is Kwame Sapon Esiedu, a pharmacist based in the UK. We're talking about the Central Medical Stores fire and the action or inactions of government so far. But if you're a prospective or existing entrepreneur, you have a smart business idea and trouble losing your entrepreneurial dream due to lack of funding, if you have a business that needs funding to expand or you need an investor or reliable business partner, your angels are right here. We will provide you with the necessary equity funding, needed expertise, networking to get your business flying. Quick Angels Limited, your ideal angel investors. Call 0302-267-381. Visit our website, quickangelsghana.com. Quick Angels Limited, your ideal angel investors. From now till the 9th of June 2019, pay for goods and services with your Stanbic Visa debit and credit cards and get the chance to win an all-expense paid trip for two to the Total AFCON 2019 in Egypt, courtesy of Visa. Use your Stanbic Visa card a minimum of 14 times in a month to increase your chances of winning. Visit the Stanbic Visa Park stand at participating shopping malls and get a feel of the 2019 Total Africa Cup of Nations by competing in the penalty kicks, ball jugglings, wheel spinning, lucky dips, and many more to win amazing prizes instantly. Don't miss out. Let's make history. Go Ghana. Let's go cheer on our team to victory with Stanbic, courtesy of Visa. Terms and conditions apply. See press for more details. In the next few minutes, I'll be engaging with Kwame Sarpong-Siedu from the UK. Good morning, Kwame. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello, good morning, Daniel.
Now, you've been very vocal about the CMS case on social media. What really troubles you about the case?
Well, what troubles me is that if you look at how drugs generally move in international commerce, especially drugs that are used for diseases that we call orphan diseases, the diseases that affect sub-Saharan Africa, it's normally donor-funded because our countries cannot fund these diseases for one reason or another from an economic standpoint, which I wouldn't want to go to. So when you have a country which is unable to fund these things, but there are a group of people who supposedly are health professionals, people who've trained to save mankind like you and I. I'm a pharmacist by training, and I swore an oath when I qualified as a pharmacist to be a friend of the human race. The oath of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana says Amicus Humanis Volaris, which is friends of the human race. And so I am supposed to be a friend of the human race, and we are the ones who are at the forefront of manning these facilities for the people of Ghana. And if under the watch of some of us, such a facility gets burnt, and it's not that it got burnt overnight. For 4 years prior to this arson, every single year, there was a fire in the records department of the Central Medical Stores. For 4 years before 2000, it started in 2011. And for some reason, our security services never got a handle over this thing. They didn't realize that this was a trend. And if you look at the travesty, it is the fact that because of about 3.5 million Ghana cedis, people were prepared to burn drugs to the tune of 350 million Ghana cedis.
But that debt has been forgiven, Kwame. Shouldn't we leave it there?
Well, that is even, you see, I read a lot, and I've been reading this book from Damvi Samoyo called Dead Aid. And in it, she makes a poignant quote. She says that Africans are addicted to aid. And because we are so addicted to aid, the whites in the West are behaving in a manner that they are treating us as drug addicts because they know that we always need our short-term fixes. What I see as a health professional is all that happened was that the Global Fund gave us a short-term fix. Rather, we need to go through drug rehabilitation to actually get clean and prevent this from happening again. These short-term measures or a four-point plan, we have fixed it and all that. When the hoodlums and criminals are walking on the streets, are not being jailed as a deterrent to others, it's not going to fix the situation.
So that's what you think is the solution, that these suspects should be jailed? That's a long-term measure?
Well, the bottom line is we don't live in an anarchist society. We live in a democracy. If you accuse people of or allege that people have committed a crime, you either put them before a court of competent jurisdiction or the people sue you for defamation. So I am in two minds. If the government is telling us after there was an investigation, after the arson and a committee being set up and 12 names being put out, that now there is a lack of evidence, just a few questions I ask myself. Why wasn't the crime scene cordoned off and policed until such time that we got closure, which is what every civil society, civilized community does? Secondly, if we didn't have evidence, why were we peddling people's names in public, especially in a country where your reputation can be marred like nobody's business?
Interesting.
So if the government is not prepared to prosecute these people, then the people should also, if they think they've not done it, they should be prepared to sue the government to clear their name.
That's another very interesting element that you bring in there, Kwame. Let me come back to studio to get Adam's thoughts on that. You think that that is also something that can trigger a deeper look into this issue? These individuals coming out?
Absolutely. If the people so affected are so minded to take this up in the courts of law, that should bring some additional pressure to bear. I would like to assume that maybe somebody is going to slip on the job, which is unfortunate. I mean, this happens too often in our country, where people who have the responsibility of getting back to us on specific issues of concern seem to take forever. And then maybe it's one of the reasons why the RTI is important, because the regularity with which public service gives feedback to citizens who have entrusted authority to them is so far in between that it leaves us all wondering, do we really have a service that is meeting our needs?
Interesting.
And this is a very key issue.
Interesting. I want to have Kwame's final thoughts in that line. Do you think that the RTI is that panacea we need for an issue like this?
Well, yes, I think it is, because if you listen to the Auditor General, if you listen to the Health Minister, if you listen to the President at the Meet the Press and all that, there seems to be a disconnect between what actually took place in the central medical stores and what is in the public domain. There seems to be a disconnect, because even the official report of the investigation had to be leaked to the public. Had some of us not had backhanded in getting that information, the public wouldn't even have known the names of the people who are alleged to have perpetrated this crime. And at the end of the day, it is not the people or the leaders who are the brunt of the manslaughter that has been committed by virtue of the fact that people have gone without drugs. People forget that latter part of this year, last year, we ran out of vaccines in this country because people are not prepared to bail us out if we are this destructive as a people, if we harbor so much carelessness and lack of empathy. And therefore, we have a right to information bill where people would go asking the relevant questions, asking and ensuring that information that we need to know is not given to us on an allegedly need-to-know basis, but given to us proactively. Then, yes, people would sit up, because then civil society would start taking some of these people on. And that's the other thing I want to go to. If we've got a report now, and the people are saying they didn't do it, the government says there's no, let's test our law. Let some of us in civil society go to court on a civil class action to say, this was what government said. Let government come and deny it. Let the people who are accused also deny it. And
perhaps it's advised that Adam Senanu in studio would take civil society wanting to go on and pursue this matter. Adam, you'd like to look at that?
Why not? I mean, to the extent that the facts in the report suggest that somebody is culpable, and then we find that the state is unwilling to act and act decisively, that's where civil society must come in. I mean, that's why we are part of the frontiers of moving this democracy and all democracies forward. So, yes, it's a very relevant point he makes. And I think that the passage of the RTI provides more opportunity for civil society and working with media to make a lot more gains as far as democracy is concerned for Ghanaians at large. And I think that Corruption Watch will continue in accordance with its 5 Ps to test and to make sure that these kind of things, the corruption-proof test continues, and we can make sure that agencies don't get away with this type of situations.
Thank you very much, Adam Senanu, for joining us. He is a management and development consultant and co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption. On the phone lines was Kwame Sapon Asiedu. He's a UK-based pharmacist who joined us there. This is where we wrap up today's Corruption Watch. Reach us on our hotline 055-4536-586 or WhatsApp us on 055-4536-295. The website is stopcorruptionghana.org. Our partners are the Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana, Ghana Integrity Initiative, GII, Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition, GACC, Joy FM, and Africa Center for International Law and Accountability, ASILA. The main sponsor is Star Ghana.